Believe it or not, this tank right here used to be my favorite tank in the entire fish room because it looked so amazing. It was the Aquascape tank and is currently my source of shame every single time someone walks through my fish room doors. This thing's overrun with algae, the plants are just overgrown. I made a few mistakes to get myself to this point, and I'm going to teach you guys the 5 mistakes that ruined my beautiful Aquascape fish tank so that you can learn from my mistakes and not make them. No, number 1 is water flow. I went away for a weekend, literally just a weekend. The filter stopped and the water flow stopped. That allowed so much algae to get established, which was the beginning of the end for me. So make sure that your tank, if it's starting to get algae problems over and over and over, and it's a consistent problem, add something that increases the water flow to that tank, a filter or a wave maker or something like that. You'll solve a lot of your issue from the base. No, number 2 was my lighting. Because this was my first really serious Aquascape tank, I had really good lighting on top of the tank. I stretched out my lighting hours from where they should have been, which is about 8 to 12. And then even further to 14. I was really pushing that limit. But that's because I was trying to dial in the holy trinity, which is fertilizers, CO2, and lighting. And I thought I was doing really well until I wasn't doing well. The moment algae started to grow and I had the high CO2 and the high fertilizers in that tank and the high lighting, it was just a perfect playground for algae to keep on growing. And I didn't dial back my lighting to fix my algae issue, which should be port of call number 1 when algae goes bad. No, number 3, which is the first sort of telltale sign that something's gonna go bad. I started to let my regular maintenance slip. Life just gets busy for people in the hobby sometimes. Because my maintenance started to slip, I knew that this was the perfect sort of scenario for algae to grow because things are just getting overgrown, full stop. And I didn't pull back on the lighting hours, the CO2, the fertilizers or anything. Instead, I just thought, she'll be fine, and she most definitely was not fine. The 4th no. We were preparing to move my whole fish room from Melbourne to Canberra. And in that prep, I thought to myself, I should start selling my fish and my shrimp a little bit more heavily than I usually do. What I did was I started to sell the algae eaters and the cleanup crew from that tank. That was a humongous mistake. So if you notice that your algae eaters or your cleanup crew in your tank are either dying off or you're getting rid of them, or for some reason they are not in the tank when they should be in the tank, you need to start to make an action plan for algae, because nothing's eating the algae, it's having a great time and growing and multiplying and turning into this. No, number 5, which is the 5th thing that you really should not be doing, is I added too many things to this tank all at once. Because it was my first real Aquascape, again, I, like almost everyone in the hobby, got a bit overzealous. I went to the store, picked up all these different plants and threw them all into the tank at once without treating the plants, so I couldn't tell what added in this already seeded algae ball, basically. I think it came from a bit of Monte Carlo that I added to the tank a while back, but I don't know for sure. And that's one of the issues with adding too many things at once. The addition of plants, if you add 4 or 5 at one time, you don't know which of those plants caused the issue and which store that plant may have came from to maybe not go back to that store again because they're gonna add algae in the future. So it's really hard to pinpoint what goes wrong if you change everything at once. Change things slowly over time so you know what goes wrong if it goes wrong, touch wood. Those are the 5 mistakes that I made that got me here. The next video is gonna be all about tearing this tank down, literally to sand, removing all of the algae, treating the crap out of the tank so that it doesn't happen again, and rebuilding a whole new scape and everything from the ground up. So let me know what kind of scape that we should do or what style of scape I should try next, and follow this account for more videos just like this one.